Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Everyday English Talk, the podcast where you can practice simple, real English with us. I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben. Thanks for joining us today. Whether you're at home, on the bus, or taking a walk, we're happy you're here to learn with us.
Today's episode is about something we all do, a trip to the supermarket. Buying food is a part of everyday life, so this is very useful vocabulary.
That's right. We will talk about the 3 main steps of going to the supermarket. First, making a shopping list. Second, finding things in the store. And finally, paying at the checkout.
And remember, you can find the free PDF transcript with vocabulary and practice exercise for this episode in the description below. It's great for reading along and practicing later.
All right, are you ready to go shopping with us?
Let's go! So Ben, let's begin with the very first step, which happens before we even leave the house: planning. Before you go to the supermarket, what is the most important thing to do?
For me, it is always making a shopping list. It's a very simple step, but it is so important. I think a good shopping list can save you time, money, and stress.
I completely agree. Let's talk about why it's so helpful. First, it saves time. When you have a list, you know exactly what you need. You don't have to walk around the store for an hour, trying to remember that one thing you forgot.
Exactly. And second, it saves money. When I don't have a list, I often buy things I don't need. I see a bag of chips or a chocolate bar, and I think, oh, that looks good. But it wasn't part of my plan. My list keeps me focused.
That's so true. The supermarket is designed to make you buy more. That's why they put the candy and snacks near the checkout. So, how do you make your list? Do you use a pen and paper, or do you use your phone?
I like using my phone. I have a notes app, and I just type everything I need. It's easy because I always have my phone with me. If I use paper, I sometimes forget the list at home. What about you, Anna?
I'm a little more old school. I have a small notebook that I keep in my kitchen. Before I go shopping, I walk around my kitchen and look in the fridge and the pantry. A pantry, for our listeners, is a cupboard where you keep dry foods like rice, pasta, and cans.
That's a great habit. Looking in the fridge and pantry is key. That's how you know what you're running low on. For example, I'll open my fridge and see that I only have a little bit of milk left. So, I add milk to my list.
Yes, my process is similar. I do a weekly check. I see I have no more eggs, so eggs goes on the list. I see the bread bag is almost empty, so I add bread. It's also when I do my meal planning. I think about what I want to cook for the week.
Ah, meal planning is a smart idea. So your list isn't just random items, it's based on the meals you want to make.
Exactly. For example, this week I want to make spaghetti, so I check my pantry. I have pasta, but I don't have tomato sauce or onions. So, my list will include the ingredients I need: tomato sauce, onions, and maybe some ground beef.
That's so organized. My list is a bit simpler this week. I need to stock up on some basics. Stock up means to buy a lot of something so you have it for a long time. I need to buy rice, cooking oil, and coffee. These are things I use every single day.
Basics are important. My list also has a fruits and vegetables section. This week I want to buy bananas, apples, lettuce, and carrots. I try to eat fresh food every day.
That's a healthy choice. Let's give our listeners some practice phrases for making a list. You can organize your list by categories, just like Anna does. You can have a section for dairy, like milk, cheese, and yogurt. Produce, that means fresh fruits and vegetables. Meat, like chicken, beef, or fish. Grains, like bread, rice, and pasta. Snacks, like chips, cookies, or nuts.
That's a wonderful way to organize it. It also helps you shop faster in the store because you can get everything from one section at the same time. Let's practice making sentences. You can say, I am out of milk. I need to add it to my list. We are running low on eggs. For dinner this week, I need the ingredients for spaghetti.
Great sentences. And remember, it's okay if your list is short. Sometimes you don't need a big weekly shop. You might just need to run to the store for a few things. Maybe you just need milk and bread. The list still helps you stay focused.
That's right. A list is your best friend in the supermarket. It guides you, helps you remember, and stops you from spending too much money on things you don't really need. It turns shopping from a chore into a simple, organized task.
So, our big tip for this part is, always check your kitchen and always make a list.
Now, for our listeners, we have a question. What is one thing that is always on your shopping list? Tell us in the comments below.
Okay, Anna, we have our perfectly organized shopping lists. We've arrived at the supermarket. What's the first thing you do when you walk inside?
Well, before I even start looking for the items on my list, I need something to put them in. At the entrance, you usually have two choices, a shopping cart or a shopping basket.
What's the difference?
A shopping cart, which is also called a trolley in some countries, is the big metal thing with 4 wheels that you push. It's great for a big weekly shop because it can hold a lot of items. A basket is smaller, and you carry it with your hands. It's perfect if you only need to buy a few things.
I see. So if you have a long list, take a cart. If you have a short list, take a basket. Today I have a medium-sized list, but I think I'll take a cart. I'm feeling a bit lazy and don't want to carry a heavy basket.
Good choice. Now that we have our carts, it's time to navigate the store. Supermarkets are usually very big and organized into different sections and aisles. An aisle is the long path between shelves.
Right, you walk down the aisles to find what you need. Let's start with your list. You needed fresh fruits and vegetables. Where do we go?
We go to the produce section. This area is usually near the entrance of the store. It's very colorful, with all the fresh fruits like apples, oranges, and bananas, and vegetables like lettuce, tomatoes, and cucumbers. Sometimes you have to weigh your vegetables on a scale to find out the price.
I see the apples. They look so fresh and red. Now, what about my list? I need eggs and you need milk. Where do we find those?
For milk and eggs, we need to find the dairy section. This is where all the refrigerated items are. You'll find milk, cheese, butter, and yogurt here. It's usually located at the back or side of the store to keep everything cold.
That makes sense. I'll grab a carton of eggs. Now, I also need rice. Rice isn't cold, so where would that be?
Rice is a dry good, so it will be in one of the central aisles. The aisles are usually numbered and have signs at the top telling you what's in them. For example, you might see a sign that says Aisle 5, Pasta, Rice, and Sauces. This makes it much easier to find things.
That's very helpful. So instead of walking down every single aisle, you can just look for the sign. What if you still can't find something?
That's a great question. You can always ask a store employee for help. You can say the polite phrase we practiced earlier, "Excuse me, where can I find the?" For example, "Excuse me, where can I find the coffee?"
And the employee might give you directions using words like, "It's in aisle 10. It's on the top shelf. It's on the bottom shelf. It's at the end of the aisle. It's next to the sugar."
Those are excellent examples. Knowing those location words is super useful. Okay, let's find a few more things. I see on my list I need bread. That would be in the bakery section, where they make fresh bread, cakes, and cookies. You can often smell the bakery before you see it.
I love the smell of fresh bread. And what about frozen items, like ice cream or frozen pizzas?
Those are in the frozen foods section. You'll see long freezers with glass doors. You have to open the door to get your item. It's very cold in that aisle.
And finally, what if I need chicken for dinner?
For that, we would go to the meat counter or the seafood counter. Here, you can often find fresh meat and fish. Sometimes it's pre-packaged, or you might have to ask someone who works there for help. You could say, "Can I have 2 chicken breasts, please?"
Wow, a supermarket is like a small city with many different neighborhoods. The produce section, the dairy section, the bakery. It's a lot to learn.
It is, but once you go to the same supermarket a few times, you start to remember where everything island, your brain makes a little map of the store.
That's true. It gets easier with practice. Okay, I think our carts are full now. We've found everything on our lists. It's time to head to the checkout.
Before we do, here is our question for our listeners. What is your favorite section or aisle in the supermarket and why? Share your thoughts in the comments.
All right, Anna, our shopping carts are full of delicious food. We've successfully navigated the aisles of the supermarket. What is the final step?
The final step is to pay for our groceries. To do this, we need to go to the checkout area, which is usually at the front of the store. Here, you will see several lanes where you can pay.
I see there are 2 main types of checkout lanes. One type has a person working there, a cashier. The other type is the self-checkout, where you scan everything yourself. Which one do you prefer, Anna?
I like the self-checkout if I only have a few items because it can be faster. But today, since we have full carts, let's go to a lane with a cashier. It's also a great opportunity to practice a little bit of conversation.
Good point. So, we choose a lane and wait in line. When it's our turn, what do we do?
First, we need to put all of our items from the cart onto the conveyor belt. That's the black belt that moves your food towards the cashier. It's good to put the heavy items first, like bottles or cans.
Okay, I'm putting the milk, rice, and cans on the belt now. The cashier usually says hello, right?
Yes, a friendly cashier will often greet you. They might say, "Hello, how are you today?" And you can simply reply, "I'm good, thank you. How are you?" It's a nice, simple way to be polite.
After the greeting, the cashier starts to scan the items. Each item has a barcode, and the scanner reads the price. You can hear that familiar beep sound with every item. Beep, beep, beep.
That's the sound of money being spent. While the cashier is scanning, you can get your payment method ready. As we mentioned, you can pay with cash or a card.
Let's talk about paying with a card first, as it's very common. After the cashier has scanned everything, they will tell you the total. They'll say something like, "Your total is $45.50.
Then, you will use the card machine. You might have to insert your card, swipe it, or if it's contactless, you can just tap your card on the machine. It's very fast. Sometimes you have to enter your 4-digit PIN number.
What about paying with cash?
If you pay with cash, you give the money to the cashier. For example, if your total is $45.50 and you give them a $50 bill, the cashier will give you back your change. In this case, the change is $4.50.
While you're paying, the cashier or a bagger will put your groceries into bags. In many places now, you have to pay for plastic bags, so it's a good idea to bring your own reusable bags.
I always try to bring my reusable bags. It's better for the environment. You can just say to the cashier, "I have my own bags."
That's a great tip. So, we've paid. We have our groceries in our bags. Is there anything else?
Yes, one last important thing, the receipt. The cashier will give you a long piece of paper that lists all the items you bought and the prices. It's very important to take your receipt.
Why is the receipt so important?
It's proof of purchase. If you get home and realize something is wrong, maybe you were charged the wrong price, or a food item is bad, you can use the receipt to return it to the store. Without a receipt, it can be very difficult.
That makes perfect sense. So, let's quickly recap the checkout process. Put your items on the conveyor belt. Greet the cashier. The cashier scans your items. You pay with cash or a card. Your groceries are bagged. You take your receipt and your groceries.
That's a perfect summary, Ben. The process might seem a little intimidating at first, but after you do it once or twice, it becomes very easy and automatic.
It really does. And now we are ready to leave the store with all of our food for the week.
Yes, our shopping trip is complete. Now for our final question to our wonderful listeners. Do you prefer to use a regular checkout with a cashier or a self-checkout machine, and why? Let us know your opinion in the comments. And that's all for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed our trip to the supermarket.
Yes, we hope you learned some useful English words for your next shopping trip. Remember to practice a little every day.
Don't forget to download the free PDF guide to review everything we talked about today.
And we have a question for you. What is your favorite thing to buy at the supermarket? Let us know in the comments.
We'll be back soon with another simple topic to help you with your everyday English.
Bye for now, and happy shopping.